Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another update. So in today's update, I really want to talk about this brand new program that's going on right now in order to do $2,000 stimulus checks that was recently just introduced. Now, I will give a little bit of a heads up is that this program is still currently a proposal, so it's not an approved thing yet. There are a lot of talks that are being talked all around, but in today's update, I pretty much just want to cover and talk all about this program, its specific details, and then maybe end by talking a little bit about some personal insight to it. So hopefully by the end there's still something original to get out of it, even if you've seen another video. I will say, however, is that there is also another program that's going on right now that is not necessarily a stimulus check program, but what is essentially is that it's a program that's meant to help some people cover up their bills. So in an indirect way, it does kind of act like a stimulus check, but the most important thing at the end of the day, why I think maybe it's important to share, is that it still happens to be money that's hopefully going to help provide assistance during a time when there is a lot of need. So hopefully, and this is a program, by the way, that actually is approved for some keyword is some people that might even already have this approved. So, but of course, it's going to make a lot more sense, and hopefully there's some value out of it by the very end. So we're going to get started, but as always, the same exact drill, 10 really quick seconds. Remember to smash the like button if you guys hopefully enjoy videos like this. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell for similar videos, especially as we get more updates. Of course, you guys can maybe decide. Huge thanks for being here, and as always, feel free to comment any questions, maybe personal thoughts about all of these programs that we're going to talk about. So with that being said, let's get this video started. So as just mentioned, the story is that there is currently a new program going on right now. It's a proposal, so it's not official yet. Essentially to try to do $2,000 fourth stimulus checks. Now, the way this program specifically works is that it is something that admittedly will be applying to families. However, they're going to be trying to do $2,000 stimulus checks per child to every family. So I will admit that this is something that, you do have to, have children for. There are some talks about programs you do not have to have children for. So hopefully I definitely feel it there, because I'm someone, I know many people that have kids, many people I went to school with that have kids. I do not have kids. Granted, with that being said, by not having kids, hopefully we are already saving a lot of money. And nothing about it, but I think, hopefully we can agree on that side. But the way this program essentially works is that it's going to be trying to send $2,000 for stimulus checks per child to every single family for any household that makes under $30,000 per year. And what's really cool about this program specifically is that it's meant to help, they predict, approximately right around 1 million people. So that's definitely a lot of people. This is not like a mini, program that's meant to help out some, small town in the middle of some non-coastal state. This is a program that supposedly they're intending to help out, probably something in the 1 million people range. So it is a lot of people. Now, the one thing that's maybe very important to mention about this program is that it's a program right now that was just introduced in California. And the specific plan, what they really want to do is that if this program was to go through, it's going to probably start in California. So it is a little bit state specific, but the only reason why is that because the people that put this program together are from California, and also because it just happens to, hopefully we can agree, do things a lot easier to do things on a state level than it is to try to do things on a very national level. Now, with that being said, is that if they are able to successfully do this on a state level, they do want to try to bring it on a national level. All it really is that they're going to try to start with the state just because it's a little bit easier. And then if it ends up going through, then they can try to bring it federally. So basically all across all 50 states. Now, the background story to the motivation to why this program is just the program, or, the background story to it, is really because the idea is that the representatives, or the people that put together this specific program, they're really doing it with the biggest motivation being, aside from basically trying to provide money for people, again, hopefully, as much assistance as possible, but also because it's really to help recover the fact because of the fact that the child tax credit sadly had to end. So what this is that you can even say is that it's a little bit of like a program that's meant to combine and fuse the child tax credit where people were receiving $3,000 to $3,600, and then the new, thing that everyone's basically trying to talk about, which is doing fourth stimulus checks together in order to essentially do a fourth family stimulus checks with hopefully some intention to try to help a lot of other people too as well. But that's really the background story to why this program is really what it is. I believe it was recently reported that one of the biggest statistics is that ever since they ended the child tax credit, about 26% of the families that were on the child tax credit sadly ended up falling into poverty. So this is actually a very, very sad thing, and a very, very serious thing that I think is difficult to talk about, but very important and very, very necessary. So they are hoping that by creating this program, hopefully we can bring relief to dealing with everything that just literally ended up happening. Now, one of the big things, and maybe this is now some good news now, moving on to some programs that actually do apply to let's just say, people, even single individuals like me and probably a lot of people that are watching this right now, is that there is now a lot of articles and a lot of news stories that are now actually popping up, and because they are physically happening, where many states and cities right now are going to be receiving several $1 million worth of, just simply put, stimulus money. But within the money that they're going to be receiving, otherwise also known as just state and local government aid, as most of you guys know, that was approved in the 3 stimulus packages. But within all of that stuff, there is a program that was actually just recently, not necessarily introduced, but more like reintroduced and resurfaced again in order to help to provide money for rental assistance. So this is one of the really, really great programs I think that not a lot of people are talking about, that's really important to just mention. The idea really what it is that it's a way that what they're really helping to do is that because of a lot of the increased cost of housing, and I definitely feel it there because I'm in New York as we're speaking right now, and just maybe for random statistics, feel free to share what real estate is like in your particular location and where you're from. But here in New York, there are many people that in order to buy a studio, so basically a 0-bedroom apartment, can sometimes cost over $800,000. I mean, I sometimes have to absorb that. Imagine going to like an open house, asking someone, hey, I want to buy your apartment. And then, you ask them, how much is it? Right? And it's like $800,000. And then you ask them, wow, that's awesome. For $800,000, how many bedrooms do I get? And the answer is literally 0 bedrooms, because it is literally a studio apartment. So what this program is that there's a new press or new surface wave of programs in order to try to help a lot of low-income families pay for their rent and their housing bills. So while it is not necessarily a direct stimulus per se, at the end of the day, it is a program that's meant to put money in our pockets, and certainly at the very least, it is a program that's meant to probably cover one of the biggest percentages of costs and the most expensive cost of living that most of us sadly have to endure. But it's just because that's just kind of the life and the time period that we currently live in today. Now, in order to get information about this, because a lot of it is actually very, very state specific, probably the best way to find information is to just try to Google up your state and then rent assistance, or your state and then housing assistance. So in my specific case, New York housing assistance, New York rent assistance. You can also try to Google up your city, because there are many, many programs that are very, very city specific. So for example, like Miami housing assistance, Miami rental assistance. Some of these programs are actually already approved and have been actually approved for several months now, but not a lot of people are talking about it, which the great news is that hopefully if you are here, now you can maybe, get a little bit more information about something to potentially look into. And for a lot of people, this could be making the difference of several thousands, maybe even something in the lower, if you're from a place that has very high cost of living, we could be talking about thousands, maybe even over, like, let's just say $10,000 for what we know, depending on your location. So really, this is just an example of a program that I know that I really just wanted to share it because I think it is insightful, and I think hopefully it can help as many people as they, that are here today watching. And the big idea again is that it's really important to notice is that for many states, that program rental assistance is still a kind of a proposal. But for a lot of states, it actually is physically approved. And it's going to be going on in that particular state pretty much until either a cutoff date happens or until they run out of funds, which is the reason why there are many states that may very much still have this program, because there are some states that still have money to be able to work with. But of course, that's something that I definitely would have to say to maybe recommend to just try to find a little bit of research locally, because that's probably going to be the best place that you will find information. But with that being said, that's pretty much most of what I really just wanted to cover in today's update. There are, of course, a lot of other programs going on, like gas checks, now that we've mentioned stimulus checks, family checks, some social security, and then of course now we mentioned rental assistance, there's SNAP benefits, EBT, a little bit of everything, but hopefully just anything to really just help out during a time when a lot of people could still very much be going through some need. So with that being said, if you guys made it this far, maybe comment down something below, maybe consider smashing the like button if you guys haven't done so, consider subscribing and hitting the bell, and as always, feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about anything. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well. If you're watching this on release day, happy Friday, have an amazing weekend, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.